also just want to, thank the city as far as the restaurants, giving up that Kawhi and dine throughout the playoffs. Took advantage of that.
What kind of history are we looking for if either Kawhi Leonard or LeBron James happens to win a championship for their respective franchises? You're looking at huge history on epic proportions, as I explain here on your channels and minds. News from the Lewis Basketball Network, starting right now.
I just think Lakers is Lakers. We got our own identity. We chasing something else. We not looking at the battle of LA. We got bigger things in mind and bigger goals to accomplish, other than, the shadow, and like none of that really means anything. They got to come out and perform the same way we got to come out and perform. I think for us, at the end of the day, we want to be holding that trophy, and that's all that matters. We'll build our legacy, and we'll build our Clipper Nation up along the way.
They sent me a list of numbers, and I didn't know what to choose. None of them looked right, so went on like 2K and put all the numbers on. But obviously, we have rules, and the rule is, I think by March, whatever, 15th or something like that, that you have to make a request to change the number. So it is what it is. But the first number that I ever wore was number 3, and I put another picture on Instagram today of me wearing that number when I was like in 7th grade. So when I saw the number was available, kind of just wanted to take it all the way back to where it first started and put that number back on.
On Tuesdays. You thought y'all was gonna go all day without me saying Taco Tuesday. Oh, you thought you was getting out of this, Dina? Taco Tuesday. You thought you was getting out of this? And you thought you was getting out of this? Nobody gets out of Taco Tuesday.
Gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back on the Lewis Basketball Network. It is your boy Lewis, and I'm back once again with another banger with yet another video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video, man. At the end when you're watching it, make sure you share this video. Only helps the channel grow. Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James. LeBron James on the Lakers, Kawhi Leonard on the Clippers. LeBron with AD, Kawhi Leonard with Paul George. The battle of LA supremacy. People are not looking at this as a rivalry. Well, in particular, those players are not looking at it. Kawhi Leonard said he wants to win. Anthony Davis says he wants to win. Paul George said he wants to win. LeBron wants to win. The only thing is, though, if Kawhi Leonard is to win a championship, remember, Kawhi Leonard is the first player in NBA history to lead 2 different teams in 2 different conferences, winning a championship and finals MVP. If he were to win a 3rd championship, this would be his 3rd city that he leads a championship and wins a finals MVP if he wins it. I mean, think about that, folks. He does that. I mean, even though Kawhi Leonard hasn't even reached 30 years old, he's going to be in rarefied air if he does that. You look at LeBron James, he wins a championship. That puts him in rare company as well. I mean, whether we love it or whether we hate it, I mean, he'll win a championship with a 3rd different franchise: Cleveland, Miami, LA. So I mean, it's a lot of history, is looming right now. And then we can't forget about KD in the Eastern Conference. I mean, KD may be injured and he's likely gonna miss the entire season, but who knows what him and Kyrie can accomplish? And what would Brooklyn look at him, and New York for that matter, if Kevin Durant were to win a championship? So, but the main focus more so is on LA because they're going to be the focus of this entire 2019-2020 season. So there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to pretty much go under the radar. I mean, some of them are big stories, but not as big as LeBron and AD against Kawhi and Paul George. So, I mean, there was even a poll that's saying that Kawhi Leonard was voted the best player in the league and that LeBron didn't even get a single vote. This is kind of like, it's kind of reminded me of the time where Kobe Bryant was ranked, 93rd by ESPN. But that dude was coming off an injury. So, and it's like his body was pretty much already broken down. That's what I kind of compare LeBron in that situation with Kobe as to now he's not even voted the best player. Now, this is what I said. LeBron James has a resume, career-wise, that is better than the likes of Anthony Davis and Kawhi Leonard and Steph Curry and, you know, a lot of players in the NBA. But when we're talking about who is the best right now, LeBron is still one of the best players in the NBA. I just personally think he's the best player in the NBA. Like I said, we're talking about Kawhi or Kevin Durant, to me, as the best players in the NBA, and Kawhi was voted. Shannon Sharp could come out here and say that, oh, it's just, you know, the media is being prisoners of the writers of the NBA, the voters. They're being prisoners of the moment. Shannon, again, he's capping for LeBron to make sure that he's going to come up with a monster year. And again, I think that LeBron and AD are going to have great seasons. But they're still going to have question marks regardless, just like all these other teams. And quite honestly, if we want to really think about it, when ESPN is putting out these duos, they're hard pressing these duos when, to be honest with you, even though if Klay Thompson is injured, Steph and Klay to me are the best duo in the NBA, and here's why. They've played years together. They're proven. Those guys are proven. You're probably saying, Lewis, you're asinine. Like, what are you thinking about? Like, you're really going to sit here and say Steph and Klay are the best duo? They're not the most talented duo, but I put them the best because they have camaraderie already. They have chemistry. They've played together for years. Anthony Davis and LeBron James are more talented than both Steph and Klay, but they haven't played a game together, so I'm not putting them as the best. Or Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Yeah, they played together, but remember, Russ was a starter, Harden was a bench player. Now, Harden is a starter along with Russ, and Harden has proven he's made multiple All-Star teams, and Harden was even an MVP just like Russ, and we got to see how they play. Then you have KD and Kyrie. Kyrie is right now by his lonesome because Kevin Durant is out for the 2019-2020 season. Then you have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Those guys haven't played together, and Paul George is coming off of surgery on both shoulders. So we got to see how he performs. And Paul George sometimes has a tendency to kind of go all out in the regular season. It's why he gets injured and why he doesn't perform as well in the postseason. So, you know, so then there's that. And so when we look at this, folks, we have to understand this, that again, once I see players play together and how they play with one another and what kind of chemistry they build is when I'll decide when the duos will happen. To me, the best duos to me needs to happen during the season. ESPN just looking for clickbait, trying to make a story about already the top 5 duos in the NBA, that AD and LeBron are the best duo in the NBA. I would say that they're the most talented duo in the NBA, I think. My thing is, they're not the best duo because they haven't played together yet. If you want to say the most talented duos in the NBA, AD and LeBron, to me, you could put them at the top. You could put it even at number 2. Top 2 or even the best. I will put them as the best talented duo. But I'm not putting them as the best duo just yet. And like I said, who knows, man? Maybe D'Angelo Russell and Steph Curry could even sneak in and then have themselves a crazy season where they sneak themselves as a top duo in the league. Because remember, Klay Thompson is supposed to miss most of that season. But even then, he's coming back, you know, from the ACL injury. So that's the way I think about. But, you know, top 5 duos. And like I said, Kawhi and LeBron James on the history that they're facing, even though I mentioned Kevin Durant, this is really more so the focus of LA because the NBA is going to ride with this LA story the entire season. And so, I mean, yo, the NBA season has had me, it's going to be lit, man. This is the most excited I've felt in years. Almost as excited as this guy.
Say I'm just fired up to be here today. It's pretty cool, pretty damn cool. Woo!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a cool sight to see, man, for this season. History in the making. And then, folks, this is why we have a wide open Western Conference. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy Lewis with another one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You already know the slogan, as I always now do. Bless up, live, laugh, love. Thanks for watching the video. DJ, hit that banger right now.
Whoever wins out. If one of them wins the championship with this team, they will become the first star to lead 3 separate teams to an NBA championship. If LeBron were to lead his 3rd team to a championship, it's another argument, even though I've said I don't think he'll pass Jordan, there is an argument to be made for LeBron. Longevity, the era, Jordan didn't have the super team era, and this would be another argument for LeBron. You led 3 separate teams to the championship. For Kawhi, you're already the only player to ever win Finals MVP in 2 separate conferences. Because remember, when Kareem did it for Milwaukee, they were actually in the West at that time. And if Kawhi went to the Clippers, if he won it this year coming up, to go to teams in back-to-back years that not only have never won a championship, but never even been to the finals and win titles, that would be huge for him.